Well, welcome everybody. This is. I need to kick my shoes off here. It's this Sunday's irreverentism Sunday service thing.
Yeah.
We kind of just I don't know. We're just getting in the flow of these. This is only the second one we've done together, right?
Yep.
And man, was that only last Sunday?
Yeah.
Does it not seem like that was forever?
Because a thousand things have happened since then.
I know. Oh my gosh.
It's been an interesting week.
It has been.
Yeah.
These are kind of great too because I kind of want to use them to sort of document our spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that we're going. It's very I don't know, cyclical or something. There's it's weird because when I talked to you guys last, we did the fire ritual, right? And that kind of burned away any blockages and had all this flow and this energy. And then after that, we did the water ritual, which was last episode, and I thought that was really powerful. The flow, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this week, it's all about grounding, and I feel like the universe sort of guides us in these.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of messages about grounding because you can harness all this energy, get really excited about shit, or worked up about shit, but if it's not grounded, then it's not useful to you. So if it's kind of important for you to learn how to ground your energy so you can be productive and stable.
Yep. And then since this is irreverentism, we like to cover the spiritual and the practical side of that. So spiritually, you can think of your energy as fire and these elemental energies, and you know the way that you feel them, like when you're fired up or whatever about something. But also you can just think about it mentally too. It's if you're really amped about something, then you have to ground that energy and you have to put it into a plan.
Yeah.
So a really good way of grounding energies is to take a step back and plan and decide if you have all this energy, what are you going to put it towards?
Mm-hmm. And doing grounding meditative exercises can help you. Because sometimes your mind is racing and you can't even think of a plan because you're just why does everything feel so chaotic? Why is my mind racing? Taking a moment, 20 minutes to just meditate and imagine grounding yourself and feeling the energies of Earth, the element of Earth, can really help you come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm. And things that I've been realizing is that you have to use your imagination to really help it. And again, this is practically or spiritually, but during the meditation or anytime I feel overwhelmed, I start imagining my energy flowing downwards. And that might I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but I don't know, just whatever you could imagine, you're if all that feeling that you feel, imagine pushing it downwards and into the earth.
Yes,
and
tethering yourself.
Yeah, and then it starts to feel. And this is good for anxiety, and if you're feeling
stress,
overwhelmed,
anxiety, just feeling overwhelmed, feeling you can't, feeling angry is really good. Grounding is really good for that.
Yeah, I do Pisces sitting here. Ever since I started.
Newcastle?
Hey,
I
what's
can't
up,
read the name.
Anita? Hey, hello, fellow Newcastlonian. Also,
what
you
call
can.
them.
You can, so we started, they sort of guided us through this little by little to learn.
Yeah.
And they started with touching a tree to get grounded.
Yeah, in the beginning of our spiritual journey when energies were crazy high, it was crazy, they taught us to just go outside and touch a tree. And in the beginning we were that's weird. But then once we started doing it, we're oh my God, this actually works.
Yep.
You just touch the tree and then imagine feeling gratitude for the tree taking away chaotic energies from you, and you can actually feel yourself calming down.
Yeah, there are many days where I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And she's did you go touch the tree? And I was no, I don't touch a fucking tree.
Yeah, it was
no,
really funny.
That.
It was so resistant.
Yeah, I would it because when you're angry, man, logic goes out the window. I knew because I've done it so many times that touching that tree and imagining grounding my energy would make me feel better. But when I was angry, I was it just felt stupid, and I was I'm not gonna do the fucking stupid tree fucking thing. And and then I spent the whole day being really upset. And then when I finally just fine, and went out there begrudgingly, and then like released all that, let it go, let it like pulled it into the earth. Like I felt instantly like better, almost instantaneously.
Yep.
And the more that you work with these systems and you give yourself tools to redirect your energies and your feelings, the more they start to work. So it's like you don't expect like amazing results right off the bat, but also don't count it out, because it's everybody's different. So you might be at a different spiritual level that you don't even realize it. So I'm not saying that it can't work immediately, and I'm not saying that it can. But I do know either way, you have to keep at it, and the more you do these things, the more
you feel connected with Earth. Because sometimes it will take a while, because especially if you live in like somewhere like Los Angeles, like we do, it's just concrete everywhere. There's not really many trees or plants to like, and you don't really think about it. You don't really even think to like look at the trees or plants around you. So
and you're always wearing rubber on the bottom of your shoes, so you're definitely insulating yourself from the energetic connection of the earth.
Yeah. So it's good to like learn to. It takes time. You got to learn how to connect with plants, but sometimes it is instant. You're like, wow, I love plants.
Yeah. And for all of you secular thinkers out there, this is totally just like practical psychology. Is grounding your own energy, taking control of your own mind, being in tune with your own mind enough. So that, because when all this started, I didn't really think of feelings as like, I just thought that we experienced them and that's it. They're transient, they come and go, and like you're at the whim of your emotions. But actually, we're at the whim of a lot of different frequency and energies, and they push us into different places. And now that we've been doing this for so long, I'm starting to instantly recognize when an energy is not my own. Like if, like for all of you guys that are empathic, if you feel somebody is like, you start like a lot of empaths have this problem is they don't realize they're feeling other people's emotions. Yep. So that's why they're kind of antisocial, and they like to stay away from crowds and stuff, because you're overwhelmed and bombarded with these energies.
And that's it's okay to like, it's weird because like I've seen a lot of like posts and things about like, oh, I'm an empath, that means that like I can't be out and I feel like I need to reset, and and that's all kind of true. Like you do kind of need to reset afterward. I'm an empath, but at the same time it doesn't mean it's a disability. You gotta
it's a superpower. You just have to know how to work with it.
It's a superpower. You could actually connect with people on a really deep level, but you have to know how to set boundaries before you go out, and also learn how to ground yourself, learn when you feel like you might be taking on too much from people, like to step outside and maybe find a tree. Or there's just like a lot of things that you can do, working with plant medicine, working with like good plants to work with for grounding, or cedar. I love vetiver, just little things like that.
You mean like the smells of them? Or?
Yeah, like essential oils, or you could even burn them if you have the plant. So vetiver, cedar, pine, any of the big trees are very grounding and very protective.
Hey, what's up, Makobel? And see, a lot of this stuff actually makes sense to me because
you talk to a tree.
Well, yeah, sure. But no, because like I had OCD growing up, and I mean, I guess I still have it, but it's where like, I thought everything had feelings, and now I realize everything does have feelings. And like I would develop these little rituals to relieve myself of anxieties, and I realized that like I was already inherently knew all of this stuff. But now it's like we just got activated, and when they're just reminding us of these things, because I totally 100% believe in past lives and reincarnation. And I think that we're just dreamers within a dream until the universe is ready to wake us up. And the slingshot message has been important this week too, just where that's weird, the door just opened by itself. So basically, think of a slingshot and think of yourself as the rock, and then think of yourself like your higher self that can see where you need to go. Think of that as the person pulling back the slingshot, and then pulling back the slingshot is all the trauma and the hardship that you face in life.
Things that are holding you back.
Things that are holding you back, whether it's emotions, like whatever it is. Think that it's everything that pulls you back is going to push you forward that much faster once you let go. So what we've realized, the lesson yesterday was, we've pulled our slingshot all the way back, and either if you're going to keep pulling until it snaps, or you're going to let it go and propel yourself forward. And today it's like...
Oh, I also like to think of, when as you were saying that, I was thinking, also, when your higher self is pulling it back, he or she is aiming.
Yep, that's what I wrote that down last night. That's cool. Yeah, it's like I'm just now bringing this point up, but I do a lot of writing, and we did a fire ritual last night for Imbolc. And I just write by the fire, and it's really comforting and awesome. And that was one of the things that came to me, is that, yeah, your higher self can see from a higher perspective, so it is aiming you to where you need to go. You just have to listen. And all of the things, all of the hurdles and the struggles that you have to overcome is teaching you the tools and preparing you for when the slingshot gets let go and you're just flying straight to where you need to be going in life. Yeah. So think of your hardships and your problems that way, that it's pulling you back to release you and propel you forward. And there was another interesting thought I had through this week, is that, the whole, like, positive vibes only, man, like, love and light and stuff. And, like, this is my only problem with the New Age movement, spiritual movement. Like, I agree with all of their saying, but a lot of people simplify that message and skip to the end. It's like, positive vibes only, man. And it's like, yes, that's the end goal, but there is a lot of work that goes into purging yourself of the traumas and the shadow so that you can emit positivity. So it's not as simple as love and light, man. It's like, I always say love, light, and shadow, because through shadow we learn, and then we have to learn how to purge ourselves of that so that we can be better broadcasters of positive energy. So
sometimes we have to go deep down into the shadows and pull them up into the light so that it can be healed. So because you can't just ignore your shadows. Because that's where you like run into a lot of fucking problems.
Is basically like spiritual denial, or mental denial, is if you're ignoring the problems and you keep saying, I'm just gonna positive vibe that shit away, it's like, it's not gonna work, because it's hurt is like embedded deep inside of you, and you've plastered many layers of anger, emotion, frustration, all of that on top of the hurt. So what you have to do is you got to peel all those layers back. You need to stop. Peel all those layers back to get to the hurt, and then acknowledge the hurt, see what it had to teach you, and then release it. Because I believe that trauma is trying to teach us things, and once it has nothing left to teach us, it's still there, but you have to let it go. Yeah. So if you still feel like you have these traumas, you gotta, and you're like, man, I just want to move forward in life. Well, you have to let go and forgive yourself and release these emotions, because they're holding you back. They're the hand on the string, and they're ready. They've taught you what they need to teach you. If you're thinking about your life and like, man, what do I need to do? Like, you're on the right path. If you're thinking about self-improvement, then it's time for you to grow and move forward.
Yeah. And how that relates to grounding is, before you do work like that, if you really want to dig down into the shadows and try to bring it to the light, it's good to anchor yourself. It's good because I believe in the more spiritual end of things, I anchor myself with Mother Earth, or element of Earth, so I can feel stable when I'm working through the shadows. It's really important, because you could get lost in the shadows.
Yeah. And I want to say that I believe in the spiritual aspect of it too, 100%. But with this movement in irreverentism, I'm trying to bring people into the fold that don't have a form of spirituality, and they feel kind of lost. And I'm not trying to push a spiritual message onto people. I'm just trying to help people reconnect with themselves in a very non-aggressive way. So I do believe in the spiritual end of it, but I understand that some people don't yet. And I think that by opening yourself to these modes of thinking, then once you get in tune with yourself, you there's no denying spirituality. But you have to experience it. So I'm just trying to show you the path so that you guys can walk it and discover yourself for yourself. So Witch King says, daily meditation has helped me let things go, but there's still more work to do. Yep.
With all of us, we're all a work in progress. It's really great that you are doing daily meditation, though. It's a huge step.
Has anybody else been keeping it since we started these? Anybody else trying out any daily meditation? You guys have any questions about your own practice, or any tips that we can offer, or anything? Because as Witch King said, it's important to acknowledge that it's a process, because if you think that it's just gonna immediately overnight change your life, or It's, I mean, it will, but
it's like working out. You can't work out like once and be like, okay, I'm fucking buff now.
Yep,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
It's the perfect example. Is like, you can't do like 10 reps of something and then expect to wake up the next day all super jacked. It's like, it doesn't work like that, because time, it's supposed to take time, because time allows moments to breathe. Added more meditation to your routine last week. Awesome. Are you seeing results? Is it how's it affecting your mood? Or because once we started this, I've noticed that little triggers that I had, or little things like that, like you become more grounded. And these things, like everybody's so like this right now, and then through meditation you start to get like this. It's like that. It's that silly hippie man, but like that's what you start to experience.
And as you start doing that, then you actually affect everyone around you positively. Like, because we do daily meditation and we learn how to ground ourselves, we actually have been like stable pillars of, I don't know, inspiration to random people. Like, we went to a concert the other day.
Yeah, this is a crazy story.
And
well, this is after. So we went to the beach first. Let's start there.
Oh yeah, we went to the beach.
And because Randy woke up and was
I woke up the other day and Papa Legba's like, "You're going to the beach today," and I'm like, "Okay." And then I realized it's been a year since our spiritual journey kind of started, so I was like kind of excited to go to the beach. We went to the beach, and
so we took we did that fire ritual. I did that grounding ritual that I may have told you guys about, like the dance, and then I took ashes and elements from that ritual, and then also we took ashes and elements from our fire ritual, and we took it to the beach. And then we did a meditation there, and I allowed myself to start doing these like mudras, like just let my hands like do what they want to do.
Throwing up gang signs. Yeah, probably. You got in trouble.
Spiritual gang signs. I don't know. And then like I did this one, and like I touched my throat, and then I felt like this like blue indigo light just flooded my eyes, like my eyes was closed, and I felt like it was opening my chakra, and then I did something to my third eye, and it was like I just like didn't think about it. I just let it happen.
And then I was channeling, and I heard that because we were going to give an offering to the ocean, some of the ashes from our fire ritual, and I was channeling, and they said that that our intuitions are going to be deepened, and we're going to have a stronger connection to people.
And we were going to feel more deeply.
We're going to feel more deeply, which
and that
also
use
meant
that to like help.
We got to ground ourselves more.
Yeah, yep. Because the more that you unlock these flows of energy, the more, like you guys saw me like 2 days ago, like I was just like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it's like that's
great.
That's good sometimes.
But you can't be at that.
You can't be at that
24/7. You're gonna lose.
Yeah, and Raul says, do we meditate for a long time, or can it be a short time?
I would say 10 or 20 minutes is a good start.
20 minutes is like ideal, I think. And it's just short enough that anybody can, you can totally, if you're honest with yourself, you can find 20 minutes in any day.
Yeah, if you could look at your phone for like 2 hours, like scrolling, looking at whatever the fuck, you can take 20 minutes to make your mind stronger.
What's up, Ken? Motion energy meditation is some of my favorite. Yeah, and I've been exploring. I think I'm gonna call it Roksha yoga. I've been exploring that, and just it's a sort of rhythmic dance. It might already exist, but like
It's funny because we've been pretty much like very spirit guided the past year, and when I would try to look certain things up, Spirit would be like, no, we want you to find your own practice. And that's why we want to tell everyone that there's so many different ways to find your own spirituality. What we do isn't necessarily like the end all be all.
Yeah, so Michael Bell says, I was reading about how to ground myself among the revelations I've been having and was thinking of trying a grounding meditation. So I think it's such a cool coincidence that grounding is the theme for today.
It's been the message we've been getting. We're like, you need to get grounded. Things are going to happen more efficiently when you ground your energy, because we're like, this is great, everything's happening, right. And then we're like, but then we get frustrated, we're like, what do we do?
It's like,
you need to ground yourselves, you guys.
Dr. Venture in the that episode where they find him and he's like all partying and he's on ecstasy. Yes. He's like, I just want to stay here forever with my feel good family. it's like that, but it's like we got to live in the real world, so we got to ground that energy. And
and also grounding is energizing, because when you plug into the element of earth, like that, our bodies, we need that. We need to connect with earth. It's like charging our batteries. Because we're expending all this energy, but if we're not grounded, it's like not useful to us.
Yeah, and Marco Bell's definitely been seeing a lot of synchronicities. Yeah, and I'm realizing that synchronicities, my theory on them is that they are the little nudges to show you that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Because they're the little, like, almost like turning a light switch on and off in a dream to figure out that you're dreaming, like a lucid dream, to become lucid in the dream. I think that's that is the synchronicities. But yeah, so Bizarre says that's basically the same path that Crowley took to his discoveries. And yeah, I've been like, I'd always been kind of fascinated with Aleister Crowley, but I didn't really dive deep into him. But after all this stuff started, and like we were already full swing, they had already taught us about alchemy, all of this like occult stuff, I started looking more into Crowley, and yeah, he pulled from many different sources, and I think that's
because
how you find the key.
We've lived many fucking lifetimes, you guys. Like, there's like so much. You can't just. Well, I mean, if that works for you to just stick with one thing, that's fine. But like, I would encourage people to try different things, try different, I don't know, meditative practices, different techniques of yoga, and I don't know, music.
And
I started listening to Egyptian music, and I'm like, oh my god, I love this shit.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's when
why
I was
do I
drawing
love
this,
Egyptian music so much?
When I was drawing this sigil, like I had it on your magic station that you made, and like everybody asked about the playlist. They're like, it's hypnotic, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's another point. So this is the sigil for irreverentism, and so I'm gonna post it somewhere. I'm putting it up on Zazzle, so you can put it on shirts and all this stuff. But it, if you see it, it awakens you, something deep inside of you that it reminds you of who you are, and it's a symbol for unity and inspiration and wisdom and creativity. So feel free to draw it. It looks complicated, but it's only a triangle, an upside down triangle,
on top of Mickey Mouse's.
Yeah, and then a heart. You draw a heart around it. Yeah. But
kidding.
It doesn't have to have all the rainbow colors. But yeah, that's synchronicity can also be a path to do things over and have an opportunity to make amends or change.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Like, once you start listening to spirit and you're like catching the synchronicities and just going with the flow, you're like, you get taken on some like really like great journeys of revelation and healing for yourself. Like, it's changed our lives.
Yeah, and a lot of it really just comes from like starting to pay attention, and also
and meditating.
Yep, meditating, and then but fear is a big thing, and that was a message we got yesterday too. Is that fear is like, I think fear kills magic.
Yeah.
If you're afraid, because I realized too that like I've been putting in all of this work, and like trying to start the irreverentism movement and all this stuff. But then I realized in the past, like I would think about what if it just blew up tomorrow and it just like was all over the place. There was a part of me that was like scared of that. So yesterday, like I dropped the fear, and I was like, man, if it blows up, like I'm ready for it. I'm ready. And then this is what your higher self, and then you as the person in the slingshot, you have to be like, your higher self is like, okay, are you ready? I'm gonna let it go. And then you have to say, yes, I'm ready to propel forward in life, because life is not going to throw you anything that you can't handle. So you have to drop the fear, and you have to say, like, I'm fucking ready. Like, let's fucking do this. And like, believe in the magic and drop the fear, because fear and shame is what has kept us so like totally just like kept us,
from being our best selves, really. Like,
enslaved in a sense to the system. And this system, this is another thing of irreverentism, is like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like the system is broken and it does not work.
The system was made to kind of literally keep us down, like the general population. Like,
I believe that the system was important to get us to where we are now, though, in a sense.
Yeah, when you think about the changes and
think
all
about
that,
like,
I don't really want to get into that shit.
Yeah, well, I like getting
talk
into
about the now.
But yeah, well,
I'm just kidding. Go on.
So
I think my
you think
coffee's
about
kicking in. Got to get grounded with this meditation.
Yeah. So think about like our ancient selves. So here's my timeline that I like to help you guys. Like, we were all like at one time alive, and during the golden era, like we probably built the pyramids or something, or were around when they were built or something. And then something happened, because how long can you stay in heaven before it becomes hell? So something happened, someone hit the reset button, and now we're all trying to remember who we are again. And now imagine like minds outside of this dimension trying to help guide us to remind us who we are, how would you do that? Like back in the biblical times and stuff, like you would have to create this like one singular God and say, don't steal, guys, like don't kill people, like this shit's bad, But then over time, and then that's kept us like in line with the fear of hell is like, it's like embedded in everybody's mind. It's kept us like in line. But now that we've moved forward technologically and sociologically, whatever. Then we're finally ready to rediscover who we are, and we can handle that, because again, the universe is not going to hand you something that you can't handle. And that's why we feel so alone in the universe, because I believe that there are plenty of like extraterrestrials, ultra-terrestrials that know, and it's just like Starfleet. They can't interfere with the development of a planet, because the only way to develop as a person and as a planet is through the suffering and the experience that it takes to learn. Because if you're just handed the answer, if you're handed the truth, you won't understand. The journey
you can't
to get
handle the truth.
Yeah, the journey to get to the truth helps you understand the truth. So Jetty says, the system is part of society. We are too dumb to live without it now. Later, maybe we can do it without. Well, it's going to be a slow transition.
I'll say, like, just through, talking through my channels with my guides, there's a huge shift going on right now. And that's why a lot of things feel really fucking chaotic. And things are going to be really chaotic for a minute, but then they're going to settle down, and actually things are going to get better. Like, things are chaotic because they have to be. Because we're in the middle of a big change, you guys.
Yeah, chaos is the agent of change.
Yeah.
And we should never fear change. We should fear staying the same.
Yeah.
Because staying the same leads to stagnation. And this is another point like I want to impart to you guys, and this is a big part of irreverentism, is use love, compassion, and humor to connect with people. And realize that connecting with people online, if you have the time and you feel compelled to engage someone in a political stance or I'm just gonna say, like, I believe Bernie is our best chance. He's talking about all of the problems to move us in the right direction. And everybody acts like Bernie is going to be the last president ever, but that's why there's a four-year limit on presidencies. So Bernie is a step in the right direction, but he's not the end-all be-all. But we have to because we're falling into corporate fascism, and that's like a totally big topic we could crack open. But really, it's just humanity versus corporate corruption right now. The rich elite have rigged the system and kept us enslaved because, like, we're poor, the infrastructure sucks, so culture cannot develop until we fix the infrastructure. And then we need a voice in the government that's listening to the people, and I believe Bernie is that voice. So I urge you to not fall for the propaganda, clear the noise, and just look at what Bernie's message is. Like, give it a good, objective look, and decide, and then follow your heart, because your heart will tell you that, like, that's the step in the right direction. But we're slowly awakening, and it's a slow and painful process. But some of us are ahead of the game.
I've been told that a lot of ancient people are being reborn this lifetime, because we're here to help with that change that the world's going through. And I fucking believe it. I'm like, before I was like, I don't know, this is crazy, but then I am talking to spirits now. And I just started listening and paying attention, and it's like, and here we are, like. Yeah,
and I don't believe in coincidence anymore. I believe in free will. But if you guys are here, then you're already waking up. You're ahead of the game, because I realize that they're only attracting people to us that need to hear our message. And so,
we started with that story, that concert story, and then we just went somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. Let's pull that full circle back into because I was just about to talk about the fire of the heart up here, and we're holding the fire. We're trying to ignite the fire of compassionate passion in the hearts and minds of mankind. And because we've got so in tune with ourselves, we put in the work that we see the truth now. We see through all the bullshit, and we see, like, it's just about connecting with ourselves and connecting with each other. And after we did all of that stuff at the beach, I drew the sigil into the sand, and I put my offerings in the middle of it, and then the whole time I was sculpting it, the water never touched it. But as soon as I was done, and I was like, thanked and asked that they imbue this sigil with the power to awaken humanity, the wave came up and just like totally just like kissed the very bottom of the sigil. And so, yeah, I like my stories,
I
man.
love your stories.
So, anyways, that was the beginning of the day. Then we went to a show, and then through random course of events, we ended up talking to...
during the concert.
Yeah, a woman outside that we had just met that night. And, I mean, she was with the group we were with, but, like, we didn't know her or anything. And within, like, 5 minutes, like...
She opened up about, like, specific, like, really personal problem that she was having, and... we were talking about like human connection and how we connect through the heart and with compassion, and like she felt so like
this was before we even mentioned that. She was like, because we were talking just sort of talking about like her issues and stuff, and then she's like, this is weird, guys, like, but I just my heart just feels so warm.
Yeah,
like, I feel like we've just been in a hug this whole time.
Yeah,
like,
and she didn't know. She was like, "Am I being weird?" But we're like, "No, this is totally
she
like."
thought she was gonna weird us out.
Yeah, I was like, we were just talking. We were just at the beach talking to the ocean god, and he was saying that we're gonna be connecting on a deeper level with people subconsciously and through the heart. So
like, I spent my day shooting cosmic energy into my throat. So you're not gonna weird me out.
You're not weirding us out, lady.
but she hobo, this is the sigil of irreverentism. It is it's meant as a symbol of unity and embracing individuality through unity. But yeah, so she didn't know any of this stuff, and then on the same day that we get a message we're going to start feeling more deeply, she just opened. It's like this, so, and she was like on tears, like she was like, I don't know.
Yeah, as she was opening up to us, I was imagining, because like as an empath, that would know, like back in the day, like that would always happen to me before, but I would just end up feeling really upset and like, you know, taking on their problems and feeling really upset for them. But this time I was just imagining being very anchored, very grounded, like, and imagining like all of the problems that she was bringing onto me, I was able to be a channel to release that to Mother Earth. As she was talking, and then when she told us that she felt like she was lighter and she felt so much better, I was like, oh.
And I felt
really
like before
working.
she mentioned that, I was already feeling that in my heart. So it was just as surprising to me to hear somebody say that when we hadn't even mentioned what we had been doing. And it was like a total 100% like proof that whatever we're doing is like we're on to something, man. And we want to share this with you guys.
It's genuine human interactions.
Yeah, and it's through self-care and self-love and self-work that you clear your channel so that you can connect more deeply
for others.
to other people. And then you get to a point where just standing in the presence of somebody will make someone feel better. And I believe that this channels through the computer too. So you just being here with us, like you might, like on these meditations, like we've gotten a lot of feedback that like people feel really great afterwards and like really connected and really powerful emotions. Some people have listened to last week's episode and talked about how they cried, and then right when they were crying, I said like, it's okay to cry. Like this is like this, we're like we're connecting here, and this is what the world needs, is like deep connection. But to really truly connect, you got to start putting the work in on yourself and clearing your channel, clearing your traumas. And then, again, this is practically or spiritually, like mentally clear your channels, work on getting a control of your own mind and your own feelings is spirituality. But if you don't want to call it that, that's fine too. That's what call it that. That's irreverentism. Yeah. You know, so it's
as long as you are, as you're doing it, you know that it's affecting your mind in a positive way, then you know. Don't do it begrudgingly. Don't be like, oh, now I'm gonna fucking meditate.
Yeah,
once you kind of defeats the purpose.
Yep, you have to. It's all about the feeling that you put into it,
and put in good feeling, because your intention when you meditate is really important.
Yep, absolutely. So think about their feelings and really start to catalog them and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What is making me feel this way? And the more you start thinking about your feelings, the more you start to learn the language of feelings, because I say that feeling is the universal language, because feelings can say infinite amount of words and concepts. You just feel it. Like, how do you explain love? I don't know.
How do you explain I fucking the shit out of somebody?
Yeah, right? Like,
no words.
It's happened to you before, or you've done it to somebody. You see the benefits of just looking at somebody, and then it's like, well, it's saucy time, like this is the projecting energies, man. Like we communicate on so many more levels than just words, and feelings are those words. And feeling is another dimension. It's another dimension of our experience, because we have the 2D, you can touch, smell, sense, whatever, but then feeling is a completely other dimension of experience. So we're multi-dimensional beings that we live in this third dimension, and we're able to feel outside of this dimension. That's where love and these cosmic feelings come from. That's why we can't describe them, is because you can't describe them. And that's why, again, like, I think we're running into problems here with like the LGBT community and just gender fluidity and things, is that we're trying to define so many concepts of love and sexuality when there are infinite ways to love someone and only a few ways to hate. So the fact that we're trying to break this up only further divides and defines a concept that doesn't really need, right? Jedi. Yeah, this is how we do it. We sputron. We just go with the flow of the conversation, and I'm just thinking that whatever I'm saying is probably something that somebody listening needs to hear. But it's so. But
maybe we should get grounded now.
Yep. There you go. See, I'm elevating the energies, and then so now we're gonna do a meditation. Yeah. Okay. And then I gotta trade. So we'll come when you come back. So here in a second, we're gonna do a guided meditation, a grounding one. And again, we don't plan these things out, but we didn't plan out the last one, and like I ended up fucking crying and shit. So I'm sure it's gonna be a good one. And if you guys have never meditated before, I recommend, like, you can sit in the pyramid pose, that typical, like, pose where people's legs are crossed, and I like to touch these two fingers together, but apparently that's like fire and air or something, because that's me. I don't know. Do whatever feels right with your hands, but you can put them on your knees. Also, if you can't sit like that, just sit to how you're comfortable, because it's important that the most important overall is that you're comfortable, but also I think it's important that you do your best to keep your back straight up. Because in many different traditions, they say the spine is where the Kundalini energy flows, and if you're slumped, you're sort of like put a kink in the hose of the energy, because the Kundalini starts at the base of your spine and travels all the way up to your brain. So you want to clear that channel by like keeping your back straight, and then also this helps improve your posture and realign your spine. So try to do it, but then if it starts like hurting or something, like give it a wiggle, because I realized that. Wiggling the spine is really powerful to get the energy flowing and movement. That's why we're afraid to dance. I believe it's like a system of control, man. It's like we're ashamed to dance, but in ancient times, I believe that dance was a key to magic. So don't be afraid to move, man. Okay, well, I'm gonna trade out, and then you can. Do you guys have any questions? Ask any questions for Ranny right now, or any questions about meditation or anything. Now's a good time.
Any questions? Yeah, dancing is magic, man. Dancing is a great way to connect with spirit. Oh, what are you doing? He just took a drink of kombucha. He's gonna get drunk. Tupac drank my kombucha. You bad boy. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a grounding meditation, which is actually, especially for me, is very important for my practice, because I tend to fly off a lot with my working with spirits. So grounding has been very important for me. It's important for anyone who needs to feel recharged. Like, imagine yourself as like a cell phone, and you need to plug yourself in and get the energy back. Like, grounding is very energizing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, cool. And then, so what I was saying, I think through this too, some of you can try this out, is to imagine all of your energy you know how you can like imagine your body and it moves around? Like imagine like that energy flowing downward into the earth and anchoring into the earth, and then in a sense bringing a stronger connection between you and the earth. And you'll really start to feel, it's like you feel your energy lock into the earth, like in a sense, like not locked, but like plug in.
Yeah.
And then you feel this really good connection, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming, because right now when you feel overwhelmed, your connection to the earth, it's, you have all that energy inside of you, but then when you connect to the earth, you open up a channel so that the energy can flow in you and back out. So there's a constant motion. Again, that's why motion is important. So that's why we feel so overwhelmed sometimes, because we're locking our energy up inside of us. Okay, so I'm gonna figure out. So we'll do a sound test here.
I'm gonna light some Palo Santo.
So if you guys have any candles you want to light, that's always nice to light candles.
I got
set
my
an intention.
nice grounding candle that I made. Some Palo Santo.
And then remember, like,
It's very healing.
if you're gonna say anything, speak loudly.
Just start screaming out.
Okay, can you guys hear us okay?
Can you hear us? Are you okay?
Almighty Mojo. Yeah, you can ground your energy from the second floor. Yeah. It's all about the mind and imagining it
you
going down
basically
into
can,
the
if
earth.
you want to imagine like a cord connected to you that you plug into whatever, however you want to imagine it. You don't have to be anywhere near the ground to ground.
But also, if
But it does.
you
help
should try
to
doing
touch
the
the
ground.
earth.
Yep,
Yeah.
like barefoot or something. Try this out, touching the earth too, and play around with it. That's what we encourage, is like experimentation.
Yeah.
So we'll give you some tips.
See what works for you.
Yeah.
Going to the beach is really great because you could take your shoes off and put it in the sand, and then you get like the ocean water medicine and the earth.
Mm-hmm. And how's our voice now? I know it's a little bit lower, but like I'm trying to balance this out.
Do you hear me? Can you hear the sound of my voice?
Is that good? Okay.
All right.
So you can hear the voice, and the drum is not too overwhelming. Okay, cool. So just try to project that. All right, so everybody get comfortable, and
Get comfortable.
I'm sure
you don't
Rainey
have to
will-
sit in any fancy way if you're not used to meditating. Just sit the way you feel comfortable.
Yep.
If you could touch your feet to the ground, that would be an added bonus. But if not, you don't have to.
no, and then just imagine your energy going down. Just do your best to clear your mind. Sometimes you'll have those monkey mind thoughts that keep trying to like get your attention, but just like
focus on your intent. And since we're doing grounding, just focus on connecting to the earth.
yeah, I would say like
Grounding.
any of those thoughts that pop up, imagine sending them to the
Yeah,
earth.
sending those to the earth.
Everything is going downwards. So, and then just get lost in the rhythm, and then I'm sure Rainey will pop in occasionally and tell you guys some stuff. So, all right, so ready? Oh, I gotta set it right. All right, so we're gonna do 20 minutes, and just really ground your energy and have fun and feel good, like, and gratitude.
Yeah.
Feel grateful is
always
a great way to get you in there. Okay. All right, everybody ready? Here we go.
Remember to breathe. discernment as we ground to you. Ground within you, harnessing our own strength. Giving us stability and direction. Feel the ancient wisdom of your ancestors. They connect you to the earth. They are your roots. Soak in all that nourishment from Mother Earth. Feel the stability and the strength of the old trees.
Oh man, everything looks like colors like really blue right now for some reason. Whew. I was like, Wait, so, oh man, so Jedi, yeah. Oh man, if you're mixing that, like, yeah, let us know. I'd love to hear it too.
Hmm?
It said Jedi. It says we're gonna mix with other 2 channels on his mixer.
Oh.
Oh, you're just listening to the. Oh, I see. You got it. Oh yeah, right on. Yeah, there's. I love the didgeridoo and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really, the sound of that just really brings me back somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, we're still. Oh, here, let's put this back. Ooh. Yeah, we're still like. This is only the second time Randy and I have done this together, and so we're gonna experiment with like adding new things, and yeah, I would love to. I just don't own any didgeridoo music or anything like that, so we'll definitely experiment with stuff. So how was that for you guys? What did you feel like you woke up into another day? Nice. That's awesome. And I just want to take a second before we get into like discussing everybody's experiences that I really want to thank you guys for being here, because if you did that with us and you experienced something, this is what we're trying to show people, is because like anybody that would come to this channel and be like just immediately hop into this, they'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? It's like,
yeah.
It looks bizarre.
What the fuck are we doing?
It looks ridiculous. Yeah. But see, you guys all here that did that with us, like you were open to the possibility, and you open your heart and you open your mind for something more. And I think you're all starting to feel that. And I encourage you guys to share that feeling and try to get people to connect with themselves, but in a way that's not aggressive. Like if something's working for you and you feel guided to like tell your friend about it, like let your friend know, because maybe they need it too. Because right now we all just need to connect with ourselves, really. So Witch King says it was nice. Jedi says when you talk like this, a hang in the background would give your words more weight. What do you a hang in the background? What do you mean by that? That didn't feel like 20 minutes, right? Anita just feeling us makes you feel calmer just watching us, right on. Yeah, that's what we're here to do, man. Like that's why we like to do it on a Sunday, is because I get everybody like reset and recharged and ready for the next week.
Yep.
Yeah, time is relative. Yeah, it's time is an illusion. An interesting theory that I have about time is that time is the speed of thought. So instead of saying this moment in time, this moment in thought, because we're all thinking and progressing the timeline forward by thinking. So it's really we're only at a certain spot in thought, really. Mm-hmm. Just thought that was an interesting thing about time.
Can you read that one from Christopher Stevens?
Yeah, Christopher says, a simple method of grounding, simply walk barefoot in the grass in your yard. Meditation may take you deeper and more full grounding, but a simple connection to the earth can do it, especially with a conscious effort or intention of grounding yourself while doing it. Yep, exactly, definitely. Christopher. Yep. And see, it's like everybody...
And if it's snowing where you are, get a pot of soil. Get a pot of soil and put it somewhere in your house and then touch the soil. That you'd be surprised how grounding that could be.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. So a hang, like a musical hang. Okay. Yeah. I think because I do music too, I'm gonna try to make some of my own too that we can play in the street. Because eventually, because this is gonna go up on the podcast Sputron, and then also we're gonna put it up this episode in YouTube form too. So if you're just joining us, you can catch the full video on youtube.com/RanCig. Mm-hmm. Or you can listen to the podcast Sputron, which is available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes. And we also, Randy and I do a lot of talks. We've covered a lot of spiritual awakenings, society topics. Yeah.
to weird deities.
Yeah, we have like fun guests on that, like I like to have guests that do like things that are considered taboo. Like we've had our friend Sin on, and we talk about like how strippers are people too, and we're just trying to end stigmas and shame, because once we shed the cloak of shame and fear, that's when we can truly embrace ourselves. Mm-hmm. I was watching The Flame with my feet planted on the floor. That was neat. My imagination took over at the end. Yeah, Almighty, that imagination, that's where the magic is. Yeah. Like the root of that word is I-mage. What is a mage? It is a magician. So imagination is not just for kid stuff. That's why, again, that's another way the system keeps us down, is because it discourages imagination. It's like, oh, you just need to get a job and be a worker bee. No, we need to create. We need to feel vibrant. We need to feel substance and purpose in our lives. And that's what we're trying to inspire people. And that's what this symbol means, is purpose, and it's inspiration, and it's unity, and it's individuality. And it's coming together as radically different people and saying, okay, we all want the same thing, a better world, and together we can find it together, because we embrace our differences. And for people from all walks. That's why I like to spin everything I say in irreverentism is both secular and also spiritual. Not necessarily religious, because we're not starting a religion here. No. Irreverentism is a movement of thought. And it's guidelines to help you think your way through life to reconnect with yourself and in turn reconnect with other people. Damn, that's a good explanation of irreverentism.
Hey, you got grounded.
Yeah, see, I feel really grounded. Like, I felt like my words were coming out at the exact right pace, because the flow one that I did, it was just like, bah!
Yeah.
But now I feel much
more
like...
You guys are witnessing the elements at play through Signitron.
And also, I mean, again, you could say elements. You could say elements, or just I imagined that my energy was doing that, and now it's reflecting in my being. Mm-hmm. So it's up to you. Yeah, I know, right? Me too. But I got to throw it out there for all the secular folk, because I don't want to scare anybody away.
You're talking to someone who talks to ghosts.
I know. It takes effort and motive to bring creativity into the uninspiring places, but that's kind of what we have to do. Absolutely, wonderful. And that's what I want to encourage all of you guys to do, is to leave this session with compassion, fiery, compassionate passion in your heart, and then the intent to share that in a way that you truly connect with people. Because right now, the internet is a powerful tool for connection, but everybody is just thinking that everyone is 2D words on a screen. You have to remember there are people behind those words, and we have to really start connecting. So if you see like a political argument or something, try to just, like, here's a tip. Go to that person's profile. Even if they're being mean and calling you like horrible names, go to their profile, look at something. What do they do? What's something personal about them? Compliment that.
And then tear them apart. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, with kindness.
So what do they do?
Tear apart their anger and frustration with kindness. That's how you could put it.
Yeah.
So, and then open it, because kindness, humor, and absurdity opens the door to connection. So use those tools to connect with people. Be weird, be irreverent, and just connect. That's true, and you have to realize that if you give people advice and they're not receptive, then that's fine. Never push.
Yeah.
Just say your piece, and then know that the heart hears true words. If you're speaking from the heart, that person, even if they don't immediately say, maybe they'll immediately call you a name or something, but your words with weight will stick with those people, and they'll process them later. But we have to start planting these words of wisdom in people and connection to burn down these walls we've all built around our hearts. Oh, you're talking about the one giving the advice? Oh, yeah, that's a good point too. Is like I say what I feel, my current truth, I call it, because truth is you should be flexible in your viewpoints and always open to new information, because the ego is what convinces you that you know everything. So when we talk to you guys like this, the more I learn, the more I know I don't know shit.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
So all I'm trying to do is offer you what I've thought, and then I love to hear what you guys think too, because together that's how we put this puzzle piece together. Puzzle.
And the way I see it, eventually, back in the day, I always wanted to help people, and it would get frustrating. Why don't they want my help? I can really help them. And you realize, can't help, those who don't want to be helped or those who don't want to hear. But the more you speak your own truth openly, you'll start having others gravitate towards you that are like-minded.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's like you shed that fear, and people can just feel it. They feel your fearlessness, and they feel that fiery compassion in your heart. Mako Bell saw a lot of healing imagery, and listening to Randy talk is very helpful. I agree, man. Randy gets this you could tell when she gets this magic voice going, and it's like, yes. And I'm just whoa, it's like you feel like
you want to know the truth? That is spirit talking through me. So it is sometimes I'm like, whoa, I said that. That's pretty cool. But I'm receiving messages, and I'm kind of translating them from my guides and ancestors. So,
and hearing to the way that she delivered words and stuff like that in the beginning of this, that's when I was like, just it was like hitting me with something I couldn't understand, and I was like, oh, this is magic. Like the way your words and the way that you say them is like, it's magical, man. And and this is what we just want you guys to believe in magic again.
Yeah.
Because if you can't believe in more, then you cannot be more.
Yeah.
So we have to believe in a better world.
Yeah, if you're completely happy with where you are in life and you don't believe in magic, that's fine. But like if you aren't happy, like there's so much more to this world, you guys. Like,
and I ask you, yeah, like you guys, none of you guys, no matter what political spectrum you fall on, none of you guys can honestly tell me with a straight face that the way the world is right now is the best that it could be. Like we can do so much better.
Yeah.
And I believe in a world that we do better, and I want you guys to believe in that world too, because right now it's bleak, man. You see the news and it seems chaotic and it seems dark, but it's like we have to be the fire that lights the way through this chaos.
Yep.
And each and every one of you guys listening right now, it has the power to bring your circle, your friends, your family, everybody through this darkness together. So start like
the more you meditate, and especially with the grounding, like you're gonna start noticing people around you are gonna start feeling that.
Yeah. Because
like their chaos is gonna start, kind of leveling to your level, if that makes sense. Like, if you have a very strong mind, people feel it. People feel your energy.
Well, like Jedi says, it feels epic when you hit the proper vibration, the one you need in a certain moment in time.
Yep.
And I call that the rhythm of the moment, because in our last episode, I talked about tapping into the rhythm of the moment, and you just like playing a piano, you just know what to do. Yeah. If you don't think about it, you just go with the flow. You do exactly what you should in harmony of that moment. And the more you clear your channel, the more you connect with yourself, the more you can fine tune to the rhythm of the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Anita, I don't tend to watch the news at all, really. Just I don't know. Just seems a little chaotic.
Yeah. It's
like
easy
noise.
to get. Yeah, and it's a lot of propaganda machine, man.
Yeah.
It's we got to cut through the noise and simplify the message. Basically, the problem of our era is corporate corruption and us people. Like Trump supporters, liberals, they're not your enemy. Like the enemy is the people at the top that has rigged the system to keep us in debt and to keep us afraid and to keep us from embracing the magic of life.
Yeah.
And this is the movement we're starting, coming together to embrace the magic and believe in a better world through individuality. We don't ask you to follow we're not asking you to follow us. We're asking you to follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
Because your heart will never lead you astray.
Yep.
And that's why religions and things, they fail, is because they ask you to follow something else. But what we ask is for you to follow yourself.
Follow what feels right.
And whether or not you want to believe that in a spiritual sense or a practical sense, practically, you believe in you, right? You're this weird mind that's in this weird reality that's trying to figure out what the hell any of this is. So you know that you exist, so why wouldn't you believe in anything other than yourself? And that's all we ask. Because when you embrace yourself, you realize how connected you are to everyone else.
And if you feel like you can't trust yourself, then start meditating, start grounding yourself.
Mm-hmm. Meditation, it's the practical tools, whether you want to look at it spiritually or practically, to ground yourself and be the best version of you that you can be. Because right now we're being bombarded by ridiculous, angry energies, frustrations. You feel the planet. This is why we're all so upset, is because you're feeling the collective frustration and anger.
Very intense right now. So that is why we were guided to talk about grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Because through all the chaos, you could always, take a moment for yourself and plug into the energies of our planet Earth, deep within, not the chaos outside, but within.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, radically different together. Mm-hmm. Like that's what we're trying to start here. People of all types living, like whether you're a Satanist, whether you're an atheist, whether you're what, like we all want the same thing. We want a better world, and I encourage you guys to go out and try to, in your own communities, start looking at ways that you can creatively bring people together to inspire them and find your purpose with other people. Mm-hmm. And when the more people that start doing this, the more that the whole collective, like this sigil and irreverentism is just a blanket term to bring people together. Because people say, oh, we don't need another movement, we don't need another symbol, we don't need another this. But what we do need is unity. And all I'm offering with this sigil and the name irreverentism is a blanket term to build a community. And how whatever that community turns out to be is up to each and every single one of you. As long as you're following your heart and using individuality to embrace unity, then you're an irreverentist. And this is a nonviolent
Some people
movement.
don't want labels, though.
That's true. And if you don't want labels, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
just be the best you that you can be.
Yeah,
and
at least
only
believe
you
in the
would
message.
know that,
Yeah, exactly.
With mindfulness and self-care, that's how you become the best you possible.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, you have to really look at how far we've come. Because right now, a revolution in America, and this is important too. This is a message that needs to get out. America, we have lost our spine. We have all of this freedom, and it has turned us into complacent worrywarts. Because all of these vote blue no matter who people, that's just rolling over and letting the system tell you what it, we're living in corporate fascism. And people in China or people in Iran, they stand up to say no to their government, and they're getting shot in the streets. Where is the American fire and the fury and the passion that all we have to do is fucking tweet or post a video or just spread the word. We're very fortunate here that all we have to do for a revolution is wake people up and spread the word. And this revolution is going to be one of fun. So it's not fought with guns and bombs. This war is fought with words and ideas and creativity and imagination.
Mm-hmm. We are doing good now. Some are doing good now, but we can always do better.
That's true. Some of us are doing good, and we have to, even the people that don't want our help now, we have to clear the path so that they could see the way. Because right now they're lost in the darkness, and we can't help them right now. All we can do is find the ones that are ready to wake up, and all of us come together and clear the way and then we can come back for everybody else that's stuck in the dark.
Yeah.
I feel like on that note, that's a good ending on that.
You heard my mouth click.
Yep. If you guys want to discuss irreverentism, we have a group on Facebook called The Anomalous Society. Definitely join us in there. And if you guys have any ideas on how you can bring together a community to start radically enacting unity and change, let's hear them in the group, the Facebook
We also
group.
have a Patreon.
We also have a Patreon, and
That's
Patreon.
where we do all our wacky, weird videos, special effects, makeups.
Patreon.com/RanCig.
It's a way to support us.
Yep, we're trying out this new economic model of believing that we'll be supported. It's because Patreon's giving little bits of money, and we believe that enough people believe in what we're doing that we'll be able to sustain ourselves and keep creating things and keep inspiring you through small donations. It's not really a donation. It's more because we're not asking for anything for free, because our Patreon, you get all kinds of ridiculous access to behind the scenes content. We might do some guided meditations. I'm going to actually put out my Roksha yoga how-to videos on there. So it's you're basically just paying for.
Are you going to be nude in those videos?
No, but I'll probably be in my underwear.
Okay.
You gotta do.
I mean, it's Patreon,
do it nude.
you
I know.
know?
Yeah, I think that's more of a fans only thing, or only fans.
Oh
wait, you can do nudity on Patreon.
You can do nudity on Patreon.
There's just no hardcore thing on Patreon.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, you're not gonna. That's not
true.
what your yoga's about,
no.
is it?
No, it's not.
All right, then. You heard it here, you guys. With enough subscribers.
Yeah, right. Let's hit that goal. No,
that goal. That dongle. Dongle.
The dongle.
Okay, we should go.
We're spiraling. But yeah, if you guys would, right?
Yeah,
bath water. I'll start selling my my underwear that I do my yoga in.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, if people buy it, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'll sell it. Hey, what's up, Evil Ted? But yeah, that's the way you'll get access to. I'm doing a bunch of docuseries. If you want to see how all this started, I got a show coming out called Black Tea and Bourbon that is going to document our crazy spiritual journey.
It's been a fucking year, you guys, and it's I'm starting to watch some of the old videos of when I was channeling these spirits, and I'm like, holy shit! It's I can't really watch it because it's I'm a different person. It's pretty creepy. It's weird.
So Patreon.com/RanCig. So there's our Patreon, and if you guys want to support our endeavors, and spreading the message.
The massage. Be nice to just spread massages.
Right? So, yeah, if you guys feel like dig what we're doing, want to help support, we definitely appreciate it, because the more support we have, the more we can create content to inspire and build the movement of real radical change, because that's just want to live in a world. I want money because I want to invest in people and ideas and like keep the flow of money going, and like because money is freedom, and we should use these resources to free people from the system so that they can create. And that's the goal. That's the world that I want to live in, and that's the world that I believe is possible. So all I'm asking you guys to do is believe and follow your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody?
More question.
Oh yeah. Anybody else got?
Festival.
Have we went to any festivals that enlightened us? Actually, like Burning Man.
Evil Ted was with us at
Burning Man. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Ted shows up.
That's like a really fun one. We haven't been in years, but that was
And this was way before we were even spiritual. It was just, I just remember this really magic moment where we were on top of this giant truck that was a heart, actually. That's funny. It was a giant heart, and we were driving around, and all these people were on bikes, and they was just playing this music, and it was just like the most beautiful moment that I had, that I was just surrounded by people that just loved creativity and enjoyment, and it's like Burning Man is like, without the corporate interest, it's like that's what the world should be. I don't know what
Burning Man is like now. It's been like 9 years or something since we've been, so it was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun. Good times. Mm-hmm. It's probably different, but find your happiness anywhere, really.
Yep. And if you feel like you need to do these meditations, again, they're going to be out on the podcast Sputron, so it's easy to listen to, or our YouTube, youtube.com/RanCig. And you can listen to them anytime, and just go back and put them in your ears whenever you feel is necessary. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys, really, truly, from the bottom of our hearts. We love you guys, and we really appreciate you being here with us and giving and believing in possibilities.
I hope this brings stability throughout your upcoming week, and I hope that other people feel it with time as you continue your practice of meditation. I hope others around you feel it.
So homework,
feel it.
Homework is try to carve out at least 20 minutes a day to meditate in whichever way you want. Listening to drums or whatever, experiment, try it out, and then tell us next Sunday how you've progressed. And then if you want to message any of us and let us know. I love hearing feedback and messages. It gets me so stoked to hear you guys' stories when it's like working for you.
Yeah, it really hits us right in the heart bones.
So never be afraid to like hit us up.
It gives me a heart on.
Heart on.
Yeah.
So I used to go to Burning Man just to unplug for myself for a while. Yep. All right, well, do those meditations and take note of how you feel every day, and then take note of how those around you feel around you, because you're going to start to see changes. You can become a
pillar for those who
Not you could, chaos. You are going to become a pillar. You already are, because I believe in you guys, and we got to start believing in each other. And on that note, we're out of here. Bye. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. I stream throughout the week from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time doing art stuff. And then on Sundays we do this.
Yep, so Sundays we do this stuff.
Hopefully I'll see you through the week. And if not, we'll see you guys back here at noon Pacific time on twitch.tv/SigNeutron or on Sig Neutron Sleazy Universe on Facebook.
Oh, and I'm Rainy a Go-Go on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also Moobot posted it out too. So.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will catch you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.